Hi and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to Tasmania Vibes. I am Taz. I am a satanic witch and I'm going to tell you the truth about Satanism. So don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and let's get into it. So let's get into some home truths about Satanism. So I've taken my oath to Satan not so long ago. However, I have been researching Satanism since I was 14, so it's about 17 years. I've never really spoken much about my practice, probably because I've always been paranoid about what people think, because I know that it does rustle up some feathers, and funny enough, that is one of the sins of Satanism, because you shouldn't really care what people think, and I don't really care what people think anymore, so this is me opening up to you about everything. So I have noticed that there are certain religions, if not all religions, and society has made Satan evil, and this is the furthest from the truth. So I'm going to answer some of the regular questions that I tend to get asked. Some of them are, to me, I find them hilarious, but people are intrigued. I will happily answer any questions that you have. So the first common question is, do I sacrifice animals or kids to drink their blood? The answer is no. One of the main laws in Satanism is not to harm children or animals. Animals you can, unless you are being attacked or you are hunting for food, but apart from that, that is it. It is classed as a satanic sin to hurt little children and animals. So that one there is a big ass no-no. Big ass no-no. Do you ever hear the stories that someone's done something really bad, usually murdered someone or raped someone, or they just do something very, very horrific, and it's very, very common for them to say that the devil made me do it? And it's infuriating, because as a Satanist, it's one of our laws that we don't hurt people unless they deserve it. When people make this claim, this is just more of a get out of jail free card, because I have noticed that in certain countries, if you do claim to be possessed by the devil, your jail sentence will be less. And not only that, but let's take Christianity, for example. I seem to get a lot of Christians in my comment section. I basically could be the worst person in the world, commit every single sin, every single crime, and claim that the devil possessed me to do it. So then I go to church, I confess my sins, and voila, that's my way into heaven. Don't you see something wrong with that? So basically, people use that as an excuse to be a shitty person and then blame the devil for it. And it's actually quite offensive, to be fair. This one's not much of a question, but it's more of a statement. You must be evil because you worship the devil. No. As I said earlier about you don't hurt people unless they deserve it. In Satanism, there is a saying, do unto others as others do unto you. So basically, if someone hurts you, hurt them back. They've hurt you, they've done wrong, so why is it okay for you to be traumatized and then them to get away with it? And I completely agree with it, that if somebody hurts you, they deserve the same courtesy. Well, like I said about confessing your sins, if you are a Christian, you confess your sins, God forgives you, and you get a free pass to heaven. However, in Satanism, if you really truly want forgiveness for what you've done, there's only one way that you can get forgiveness, and that is by whatever you did, you don't do it again. You prove yourself by not doing it again. There are other religions where you can just commit sins over and over and over again, confess, God forgives you, you can go out, commit sins again, go to church, confess, God forgives you, you go out again, commit sins, go to church, God forgives you. And it's the same bullshit over and over and over again. The most infamous serial killers confess just before they die. Let's take Ted Bundy, for example. I like me some Ted Bundy. He did not admit to any of his crimes. There was one particular female that he absolutely refused, point blank said, no, 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 I did not do it. It wasn't until the day of his execution that he actually admitted to what he did. And he did that because he thought, oh, I'm going to confess my sins and then I'm going to go to heaven. He wasn't sorry for what he did. He did not care. He got a kick out of that. He got joys out of doing those things. But because God forgives you, you can get to heaven. Now, I'm not being funny, but let's just say Ted Bundy got into heaven. Why would you want to go to heaven where serial killers are? Answer me that. Think about it. Just for a minute. Another common question is, have I sold my soul? I get that a lot. And again, no, I have not. I never intend to sell my soul. I believe that once we die, our souls will go to wherever we're destined to go. Heaven and hell, basically, you've got your good place and you're supposed to be a bad place, right? So hell is basically purgatory. If anyone dies and they have something on their conscience that they feel guilty for, they will go to purgatory and they will relive that over and over and over and over and over for eternity. So don't die with guilt, because that's where you're going to go. And heaven, if they let in serial killers and rapists and chomos just because they decided to confess their sins just before, I wouldn't want to go to there. My soul is going to go on to the next part of my spiritual phase. I'm not quite sure what that's going to be yet. There's a part of me that likes to be stuck in the spiritual plane on Earth, just so that I can haunt people. I find that fun. I'd find that so much fun. Wow, I would irritate the absolute shit out of people. And I would scare the crap out of them. And do you know what? I would get so much pleasure out of it. So this might sound a bit contradicting, but I do see Satan as a god. However, I don't see him as a god. I work with Satan. I do my rituals with Satan. I make deals with him. It's like we're side by side, partnership. He's not above me. I'm not above him. We're on the same level. We're together. There's a difference. And if we're partnership, I do not need to give him my soul. Now, if he was above me and I want him to do something extraordinary, because I'm not saying that people haven't sold their souls, because we all know about the conspiracy of Hollywood, but I don't want him to make me rich and famous. I want to be working side by side with him. The next question I get asked a lot is, am I scared that I'm going to go to hell? I know I've kind of already answered this one, but no, I'm not scared, because I have not done anything wrong to feel guilty for that I will be trapped. With Satanism, one of the laws is basically to live your life. It's basically, Satanism is about living your life to how you want to, when you want to, do it how you want to do it, as long as you abide by morals. I'd like to call them morals. Do what you want, just don't hurt people along the way unless they deserve it. We don't do child sacrifices. We don't do animal sacrifices. We don't drink their blood. However, if you need animal blood, you don't go out into the field, slit their throats, grab their blood. No, you go to the butchers. They've got loads. Get everything there. It's common sense. Common sense, people. But no, because religion in society has made it into this big thing where it's scary and evil, you not believe it. So yes, I literally do what I want that satisfies my soul. I don't feel guilty for anything, because I don't ever set the intention to hurt anyone or do anything that I will regret. I have made some poor life choices before in my past. However, I don't regret a single one, because I wouldn't be who the person I am today. I wouldn't know the lessons that I know now. I wouldn't be here where I'm actually at my happiest if I hadn't been through those things. So no, I don't regret anything. I don't feel guilty for doing any of those things. I am happy with my soul. I'm happy with my life. I do not feel guilty for anything. Believe it or not, Satanists are some of the nicest people I've ever met. I'm going on the Satanism as in the Church of Satan. If you've read Anton LaVey's Satanic Bible, Satanic Rituals, The Satanic Witch, and things like that, this is the one that I'm going on, because I've resonated with everything. So it was founded in 1960 by a man called Anton LaVey in San Francisco. He was just so fascinating. Everything about him, the way he lived his life, was just completely fascinating. And I resonated with everything that he said, and I took my oath to follow that particular Church of Satan. Now, there are other types of Satanists. You've got the Satanic Temple and others, and they're a bit too extreme for me, because they are more violent ones. I think they've done that because I'm not saying that they are people with issues, But I think some people need Satan so that when they do something bad, they can blame him. What people are not understanding about Satan is basically they say, oh yes, you've made a deal with him, that makes you evil. You work with him, that makes you evil. It's not. He's the man. If you want something, you go to him, he gets the job done. Now, once you've got that thing in your hand or wherever it is that you've asked him for, what you do next is down to your own free will. So let's just say I asked Satan for a gun. Not that I'd have a gun, I live in the UK, we don't do guns around here. But let's just say, for instance, I don't know, I wanted a gun and I just come across one. Now, if I start shooting people, that's because of my own free will. That's because I chose to, not because the devil made me do it. See what I mean? Everybody has free will. Everybody has free will. And what you do with it is down to you. And it actually pisses me off because people blame it on Satan because they can't take accountability for their own actions. And again, with this world taking other religions to priority, let's say, they get let out of jail free cards. How about if you weren't such a horrible person, you wouldn't need to blame Satan, would you? Learn to take responsibility for your actions. People say, oh, Satan's bad, Satan's evil. Oh no, repent before Satan gets you. Satan keeps certain churches open. So at the end of the day, I think that these religions should be thankful that Satanists even exist, because if it weren't for him, they wouldn't make so much profit. And let's just face it, right? If you've gone down the rabbit hole of churches, we'll know that it's all money laundering. But you know, some of you don't want to know that, do you? And another thing that gets a bit frustrating is music. A lot of people think that heavy metal is the devil's music. Heavy metal's not satanic music. It's not the devil's music. I don't understand it. Yes, I know it's a screamo and people do sing about Satan because they think it's cool because they're gothic. Ooh, Satan, kind of thing. You know what I mean? But that's it. Do you want to know what the devil's music is? Pianos, violins, soft instruments. Have you ever heard of Peter Grundy, Goetia? That's more the devil's music. So the devil has been portrayed as a bad person for a very, very long time. And a lot of that to blame is society. Let's just scrap religion, put religion to the side. Let's talk about society. Obviously, you've got all your horror films, you've got your shows, yada, yada, yada. And they've over-exaggerated because it's entertainment. It's what they do, but people believe it. Now, I've said this in one of my videos before, talking about spirit boards, or some people know them as Ouija boards. I use them a lot in my practice because that's how I make communication with the spiritual realm. Like when you get a spirit board out, people think evil, demonic, possessions. That's not true. It's frustrating because I don't think half of you, I know some of you completely understand what I'm saying, but half of you don't. It's the same with Satan. He's been well over exaggerated. He got cast out of heaven because he didn't agree with God's rules. I wouldn't neither. I'd rebel. He's strict. It's all bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I'm going to take one of the sins, for example. So let's take greed. Now, we encourage greed in Satanism. I don't mean greed as in steal people's money, rob a bank. Nothing like that. No. Now, I'm going to talk about job opportunities, okay? So you start off a job. Let's say, I don't know, as a cashier, okay? You're a cashier. You work your way up to senior. And then you work your way up to store manager. Obviously, you got more money coming in. You can afford more luxuries. With the cost of living, you kind of need that right now. Do we not? More money. You decided one day, oh yes, I want to work my way up to, I don't know, CEO. That's classed as greed, which is a sin. In Satanism, we encourage that. We tell you to go out and live your life. You want to be a CEO? You go work your ass off and go and do it. We will applaud you on the way. This is the difference. You'd think, oh no, Satan's just going to make you do horrible things to get this, but no. He tells you to get up off your fucking ass and go and fucking do it. Don't sit there praying, hoping one day someone's going to put it in your fucking lap, because that's not how it works. You get up off your ass, and you go and get shit done. And that's what we encourage in Satanism. We can love whoever we want, which is a good thing. Obviously, over the legal age. One of our satanic laws is do not give sexual advances unless you are given the mating signal. So we don't try and coerce people. We don't try and convince people to go home with us and sleep with us. If they give us a signal, we have freedom to go and do what we want, sexually wise. Some religions, you're not allowed to do this until you're married, which, let's face it, I'd say at least 90% of the world don't. Sex before marriage is common now, and it's a sin. But as Satanists, we encourage it. It's fun. It's human nature to want sex, to sleep with someone that we find attractive. Do it. When it comes to the satanic abuse rituals that you hear about, there are people that could use that as an excuse to abuse people and say, yes, we did it because it's a satanic ritual. No, you did it because you tapped in the head, not because it's to please Satan. Because it was to please Satan, trust me, he'll come down on you hard, because he does not agree with that. We do have satanic sex rituals. They are only for willing participants. There is such thing as group rituals. So, you know, they're called orgies, or you can just have one-on-one. I do a lot of sex magic, and I shit you not, it's the most powerful thing ever, and it's amazing. Honestly, if you've got a partner or someone that's willing to do a sex ritual, do it. So I know I'm going to get judged by this video. I have done 2 other videos about step-by-step on how to do rituals with Lucifer, with Satan, the devil, whatever you want to call him. Which, by the way, they're all his names. People in the comments are saying his name's not even this. It is. It depends which religion you're looking from. But he's got something like 11, 10, 15 names. So it's got quite a few. It's got quite a few names, okay? So shut up. Satanists, we do not judge people. We support all people, all races, all cultures, all genders, all sexualities. We support all of that. Whereas obviously there's certain religions that have to change their testaments to keep up to date, because obviously our societies keep changing. Now, if you go back all the way to the beginning, a lot of this would have been frowned upon. But as Satanists, it's never changed. Now, if their religions were such good religions, they wouldn't have to change, would they not? We get judged on by certain religions. And the funny thing is, in the Bible, it actually states, do not judge or you will be judged. These people who read these Bibles, what did they do? They judge me. Hypocrites. Major hypocrites. When working with Satan, as you know, he is a fallen angel. He is known as the light bringer. He brings out the light in you. He brings out, it's like the light is like that energy. He brings it out in you. He makes you want to do more, do better. He makes you want to grow and achieve everything that you've ever wanted to achieve. It's like he brings out your greatest desires. He can literally help you get them if you work with him, if you support him. Now, I'm not going to encourage you to be a Satanist, because some people do find it too dark to work with, because they're just so brainwashed by society and religions that they're too scared to. But hear it from another Satanist that it's not. It's really not. But bear in mind, again, he was once an angel too. Some people agree with the Bible nowadays, but it's been changed how many times? How many times? As I said, I work with Satan as part of my witchcraft, and I wouldn't recommend it for beginners. I wouldn't recommend it for anyone who is weak, should we say. I know it sounds horrible, but I just wouldn't. It takes a lot of energy to do this, and it takes a lot of practice as well. It's not going to one there. You do the ritual first time, boom, there he is. Nope. You have to keep going and keep going, because obviously a lot of people want his attention. Once you start working with him, it's amazing on what you can come up with. It's amazing what you can do. It's amazing what you can feel like on the inside. When I first started working with him, it's because I wanted better health. I managed to develop a heart condition. The doctors didn't know why. The doctors didn't know how. And there was nothing they could do. They kept trying all these treatments. Nothing was working. I was constantly in and out of hospital all the time, and nothing could help. So I decided, you know what? I'll see what Satan can do. And since then, I felt so much better. Doctors were baffled that it recovered. I held my side of the bargain, and we work together a lot now. We're little buddies. As I said, I've not done this video so that I'm encouraging people to join the Church of Satan or to become a Satanist in any way. Well, I just wanted to answer some questions that I keep asking a lot, and just give you some home truths what being a Satanist is really like. Becoming a Satanist is probably one of the best decisions I've ever made, because I've never felt more alive. And I tell you now that this is the happiest I've ever been, ever. Physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. My life is booming. I know that there were some people in the comments going, but you've only got 4,000 subscribers. That don't mean anything. I've got brand deals coming in. Yes, I do get the opportunity to pick and choose who I can work with. I'm very blessed that way. And I thank it all to Lucifer as well. I mean, I'm going to be doing more videos on a day in life as a satanic witch, on what I do, how I practice things, and just how I live in general. I hope you enjoyed this video, so don't forget to like and subscribe, and I shall see you next time in the next video.